halfway through January 2024. And the great thing about the new year is that new anime start coming up. And an anime that I want to talk about that just started like a week or two ago, I just saw the first episode, which I was super excited for. It was called Solo Leveling. And reading the description about it, it sounded pretty cool. And then I saw the first episode, and honestly, I'm like, I part of me wants to say it was good, and part of me wants to say, like, it's overdone. Like, it's seriously like, it's basically Sword Art Online. Another version of Sword Art Online, and I don't like RPG anime, and so I don't know what to say about this, but I'm gonna give a review of the first episode in case you guys haven't seen it so you know what it's about. So, yeah, let's get started on it. The anime does start out pretty decent. I mean, it starts off in the past 3 years ago, where these people are on an island, and you got, like, I guess there's this military guys talking, like, we should help these people on the island destroy these monsters, and the other guy's like, what are you, nuts? You know our machines are nothing against those beasts? And then it goes on the island where you have like these knights basically, they got swords and shields, and these ants come out of the forest and they start fighting them. You got these mages, so at this point I'm thinking like it's gonna be like a medieval sci-fi thing maybe, which would be pretty cool. And then they started talking about how our ranks aren't high enough to defeat these beasts, what are we gonna do? And then like, oh crap, this is an RPG. Well, might as well continue to see how the rest of it goes. Anyway, once they beat some of the ants, they're attacked by these silver ants, and more experienced people, they come out and they start slaying the ants, and then it goes to modern times. Like, it skips what's happening on the island, and it goes to modern time to explain what's happening in the present. So, the anime does start out pretty decent. I mean, I guess apparently there's been these gates opening all over Tokyo, Japan, and there's been like these monsters coming out, like goblins, orcs, giant chimera ants, things like that, and like, they've had the military go after them, but like, I guess for some reason guns and tanks and stuff have no effect on these creatures for some reason. So they enlist just normal citizens around Tokyo to fight these creatures, and these people that fight the creatures are given the name Hunters, and based on their abilities, they're ranked from S to E. And at this point, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of, I'm getting like Hunter x Hunter and Sword Art Online vibes, but there's enough. The whole portal thing is enough to make a difference between it to keep me interested in what's going on. So, it can get a chance to get interesting. I'll keep watching it. But it does feel very familiar to a lot of other anime. I'll just say that. So we're at about the 6-minute mark, and at this point we have all these people, all these hunters meeting up in this one area of the city. Outside this one gate, all these hunters are talking about how it's about time that they found another gate that opened up, because this is how the hunters make their living. Like, they go inside the gates to the creatures realm, they kill the creatures before they can go into Tokyo, and the items that the creatures drop, they get to keep, and they sell them to, like, markets and stuff to make a profit. And, we finally get introduced to our main character, Sung, who, I know we just barely met him, but I actually really like him. Like, he's one of those characters that have the personality of an animated character that you automatically like. Like, You know how you see Natsu or Killua or Levi on screen for like 10 seconds and automatically you love these characters because of their personality? That's how the main character's Sung is. Like, I love how people are always asking him when he arrives at the side of the gate if he's prepared for this, if he's eaten well, if he's ready to go on another quest. And he's just like, yeah, I'm good. I'm ready for this. I mean, I can handle this. And one of the hunters is like, wow, he really gets a lot of respect around here. I mean, he must be one badass hunter. And the other hunter is like, just like, guess again, the guy is a complete waste of... He's basically saying that Sung is basically dead weight. Like, Sung's an E rank, and he's just bad at what he does, but Sung does what he does to make a living. I like that Sung doesn't really stick up for himself during all this, because he's like, you know, what they're saying is true. I'm kind of lame, I'm bad at what I do, so you can't argue with the truth. It's just his personality that I like. Like, with Sword Art Online, you had Kirito, who's just the stubborn jackass. But with Sung in Solo Leveling, I like him, because he's down to earth. So far, I like Sung, the MC. They got a cool main character. So, during the time that they go into the gate to fight the creatures, the scene takes us to this one company office building where the president of the company is talking to just one of his workers. And this is when it totally goes RPG style. I mean, they're talking about how they're using the resources that are brought back from creatures to power the city with electricity and stuff. But they're also talking like the items that creatures drop, they can be used to fuse to other items to be stronger, to fight against stronger creatures. It's just, it gives you such RPG vibes. And honestly, if you don't know by now, I do not like RPG anime. I've already said that, but if I'm gonna watch an RPG anime, I might as well just go play an RPG like Persona 5, Persona 5 Strikers, Legend of Zelda. There's so much I could do instead of watching an RPG anime. But, yeah. Anyway, during this, Sung is fighting these creatures, and he's like, he ends up killing one of these creatures and drops an item, and he's like, oh sweet, I actually did it! And their healer's like, Sung, look out! And Sung sees the goblins behind him, and he goes to stab the goblin, but his knife shatters. And Sung's like, oh shit. And this is when the goblin attacks Sung. And what I like about this is Sung's teammates, they like actually look out for him, like they don't consider him dead weight. Like, they have the personality of like anyone on their team is a valuable member. So instead of just letting them die, another member of the team that's a higher rank hunter goes and fights the goblin while this mage heals Sung. It's a really cool scene. It's cool to see them fight the creatures, but it's awesome to see the teamwork they have, and they're not all assholes to Sung, which I mean, is something I liked about it. So the group here ends up killing the boss of this gate, and everyone's like, alright, we beat the boss, let's get out of here. And they think it's weird that the gate isn't closing because the boss is beat. And then they realize that there's a tunnel leading deeper into the gate, and some of them are like, oh no, we've done what we came here to do. I mean, this is a level E gate, that's what we signed up for. This could lead to like a level S gate. We have no idea. Let's get out of here. And others are like, I have a new kid on the way. There was barely any items to collect here. Let's venture further in to get more money. And so it ends up to a whole vote where it ends up like being 6 are for going into the tunnel, and 6 are going back outside the gate back into Tokyo. And it ends up all coming down to Sung's choice, and he's just trying to prove himself at this point that he's not dead weight. So he's like, yeah, we need to go in that tunnel. I need to prove myself. So they go in the tunnel. And it's kind of funny because, like, when they're walking through the tunnel, this is where Sung and the mage are speaking. Sung is like, I'm so sorry I made you heal me. I'm really sorry about this. It won't happen again. And the mage has, like, a major crush on Sung since the beginning. Like, before they went into this gate, they're talking in the city how it annoyed the mage that the other hunters were making fun of Sung. And Sung was just... hey, can't argue with logic. And, the mage just tells to Sung, it's okay, but please do take more care of yourself. I almost couldn't heal you this time. But you can make it up to me by taking me out on a date. So, I liked that part. Anyway, they reach the end of the tunnel at two large doors, and this is where stuff actually starts to go down, which is pretty cool. So, the hunters, once they're in front of the doors at the end of the tunnel, they push it open. Then they go into this large round room where it's just filled with, like, these statues, giant, like, 30 feet statues. And they're like, hey, there's writings on these walls. Things like that. And then the mage goes to Sung, and she's like, hey, Sung, I don't like it here. That statue just looked at me. I swear, I saw its eyes move. And then the doors behind the hunters close. And this is when they all, like, start losing their shit. They start freaking out. And one of the guys is like, ah, to hell with this. I'm out of here. And they go to the door. And he goes to the door to leave. And one of the statues starts to move. And it swings its giant axe. And this is like the first kill, human kill of the show. He gets sliced clean through. Everyone's like freaking out about it. Sung's like, hey, that guy was a level D hunter. He shouldn't have died here. And then everyone starts dying. Like, he sees the eyes of one of the statues move and a giant heat blast happens. And he's like, everyone get down! And, like, 30 or more people get incinerated from it. And it reminded me of that one scene in that one episode of Sword Art Online. I think it was actually, like, a Christmas-based episode. It's like when Kirito's with that one guild, that they go into that one room, and, like, all of them are wiped out, except for, like, 2 or 3 people. And, yeah, that's a lot what it feel like. Anyway, once they see that these statues are alive and are trying to kill them, it ends on a major cliffhanger where Sung's like, we're all gonna die here! And that's how it ends. So, yeah. Like I said before, I don't know what to think of this so far. It has such Sword Art Online vibes that I'm not a fan of it right now. And yet, for the pilot, so much was squished into it for half an hour. I mean, like, besides Sung wanting to go into the tunnel to prove himself, we also learn at a point that he's trying to earn money to help his sister go to college, and that his mother's in the hospital, and he has to pay her bills, and for some reason his dad's missing. And I think that could have been explained in a whole other episode, or extend this first episode to like an hour long, because it's like, because then we could have like a younger son, have it explain to him why he chooses to do this, how his mother ended up in the hospital, what happened to his father. It just goes over important stuff like that in 10 seconds. It's like, it's valuable information for any anime or any story, and it just glazes over that. I hope, like, in episode 2 or 3, it'll go more into detail about it, but I just hate when animes go over critical information like that, especially about the main character's backstory. It's really annoying when they rush that. But that's just my opinion. Also, the recruitment and how they become hunters is just weird. I mean, they go to this one building, and you think, like, to be judged on what rank they would be, S to E, you would think, like, they would be put in a chamber, like, an AI chamber, like they did with the second Hunger Games Catching Fire, where Katniss fights those AI things with her bow. But no, what they do is they touch a stone, which it shows on the computer what's being read and stuff, but all they do is touch a stone. It like doesn't really explain anything, and then it goes back into the waiting room where these people are talking to these other kids like, oh wow, you're a C rank? You should totally join our group. Sign this contract. Everything's here. Join us. And it's just like, that part felt rushed. And also there's this like S rank hunter that's this blonde girl. And there's this scene where she stops a street robbery. And it feels like they're trying to make a female Captain Levi. Like, she stops the robbery and everyone's like, all like, oh my gosh, she's so cool. This is what an S-rank hunter is. So she does a bunch of like acrobatic moves, jumping from roof to get out of there. It'd be cool to see more of her. I think I'm gonna like her as a character. But I thought it was kind of weird, like, she has one line and then she's like this super shy person that straight up gets out of there. I don't know if she's going to turn into a Levi from Attack on Titan when she goes into gates to fight creatures. But so far, this anime seemed rushed and too much like Sword Art Online to really enjoy. But I might give the second episode a chance. Don't know yet though. Alright guys, that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and leave in the comments what anime you are looking most forward to in 2024. I'm really excited for Season 7 of My Hero Academia to come out. I'm super excited for it. So, yeah. Let me know if you liked Solo Leveling, or if you're like me and thought it was like mediocre. Anyway guys, we'll see you next time.